do I have my glasses? Do we want to talk about stuff?
Well,
Wait, I mean, everything
yeah, I
seems
do.
exciting.
I had one thing that I was, it was a busy weekend and a lot of things happened. But physical things that actually happened, also, businesses that move forward, and then also
what?
everything has been really, I'm telling you, train wheels turning. It's been exciting. It's been busy. And then I took some time to also do a little bit of learning and stuff, but I, gathered some information. So I saw some things that were really interesting. It's just a personal thing for me, just in my growth and things that I've recognized and noticed. But I was watching a video from, kind of just as I love to check out like who's doing what and who the top, we call them gurus, maybe.
Okay.
Are, the people
again.
are following and stuff like that.
Huh?
And so there was a guy that had a video. I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember the title. I think it was something about narcissists not getting their karma. It was something like that.
Oh.
I think that's probably the title. And so this is something that had been hurting me a little bit. So I watched it just to see, what it is that he had to say or what was going on about it. And I just really, I love, I don't want to say evaluating because then that sounds weird, but it's I naturally do just because we're in the business and this is what we do.
Yes, so you're assessing and you're evaluating and you're taking things into consideration. That's what it is. You're considering things, looking at things.
And it was just very cute to watch him and see and remember, like, oh, I remember when I was there. Like, I remember when I was there. Mm-hmm. And I think in your level of knowledge, just in your, earthly and celestial progression, whatever you want to call it, when you're there, when I was there, I was at my height. Like, I was the top. It was very cool, and people were coming to me with questions and answers, and I was doing the best that I could. So that's where I was. So I can see that that's where he's at. It's very cute to watch. It's like watching your child, doing the stuff that you've done, Mm-hmm. And it was so interesting for me to see now where I am and now where I've progressed to. I was able to analyze him and just his way, that he was going about things and processing things and stuff. Oh. And so I would do it differently now and had a different just feeling and approach about it. I completely understood why he felt the way he felt. I appreciated the way he tried to deliver his message. Like, I have nothing.
So he was trying to address that then. So somebody asked him a question.
He did a great job. Yeah, he did a great job. He was very good. But it was just really interesting to me, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this right or not. I can when I can use my hands.
I think you're doing a good job.
Okay.
Already.
So
I'm following you.
We'll take dimensions, or we'll take, heaven and earth, or we'll take, elementary school and high school, whatever. It's just progression. But it's like when you're there, for you, you're at the ceiling, you're at the top. That's the best you've got. And you literally are the top, looking down, and those people are looking up at you and needing you. And that's great. That's awesome. Then when you pass that, now, I would see from where I'm at, and just because I've just been doing it longer or whatever reason,
you're in a special place.
I view him like in the middle, in the middle. So I can see the people under him, I can see him, and then I can see where I'm at. And I'm sure, I'm in the middle for someone else. So, but
not so fast. See, I don't appreciate all that other stuff. Like,
I know. I just try to make it fair.
Okay.
But
there are special people. Hey, special people who can look at things and do things. Okay.
But it's
so he's in the middle.
It changes. So my view at that time would have been so for sure one way. Like, this is what I would have considered truth or knowledge or, the best of my understanding. And then when you grow, like, it's just so interesting to me how much it changes. Like, how much it changes. It's probably not coming off as profound as it was when it hit me.
No, it's very profound because I know what you're talking about. You're talking to me, right? You're talking to me. You're talking to me. So I'm listening to you.
I know.
And I'm getting it.
I have our one subscriber on my brain. Like,
oh, you're talking to the audience now. See?
No, pull me back.
Look, we got one subscriber, and now we're like so excited. No, you're supposed to talk to me only. I'm supposed to be your buddy. We're supposed to be like. Remember, you wake up in the morning and you say,
"It is."
Hi. Say hi, and I say, "Hey." And then you tell us what's amazing, and so right now we got a bunch of things that are amazing.
Yes.
And then if it's terrible or something that we have to address immediately, then we bring that up.
Okay.
But no, I follow you because I pay attention to all the things, all the levels.
Yeah.
So, it's very good because you get to look back, look upon someone fondly, and look upon the aspect of you fondly that.
Yeah.
And then have a sense of things like, oh, this guy, even the fact that he's addressing a question such as, do narcissists get karma or whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like you said, he's in the middle. He's helping people in a certain way do certain things.
Yep.
And one day he'll be known as the patron saint of.
I know. I'm so excited.
Of dealing with narcissists and getting their karma. Okay, that just sounds funny, but it's super good that you can see your new perspective just a little bit down the line.
Oh yeah.
And have some sort of sense, right, of actual growth and actual healing and actual transformation and actual understanding and actual perspective. Right?
Yep.
That's a thing that we're trying to. Well, you expressed it beautifully, even though you thought I wasn't. Perhaps able to picture or understand what you're talking about, but yes, we were.
Oh, good.
We were. Like, look at me. But no, it's super good because again, some people are swimming around, right, in a nightmare of confusion and lack of equilibrium, right?
Yeah.
Lack of understanding, lack of something they can stand on with any kind of sense of safety and stability. And of course, there's a big element of faith that people need to embrace, right? Accept that faith is required to do all the things and take steps and kind of move forward into these positions, right? It's like into your new position.
Yes.
If we want to use cliched metaphors, we can use the butterfly and the butterfly from the caterpillar. But that's true, right? It takes some faith to go from caterpillar to the cocoon, and then metamorphosis, transformation to something that you could not have expected.
Correct.
Right?
That part.
Even if you've seen a million butterflies or a million things that go from looking small and ugly to big and beautiful or whatever it is, even if you've seen it a million times, you yourself cannot know exactly what that is and what it requires. But when you are on the other side of such a thing and you look back, it's a big deal because there are applicable truths that can be used by friends and neighbors and people of all sizes and shapes on both sides of the thing that are truth and sound reasoning. You know what I mean?
Do you think you had that, or do you think you just kind of were?
No, we always had that. You always had
this way your whole life.
Oh, you're not talking about me.
Yeah, you.
Well, if we're saying, have I always had perspective in the way that you were kind of illustrating with your story, I've always had a certain ability to be at a distance, to see others, but to see myself, right?
Well, yourself, I'm saying, were you able to look back at yourself and see that you actually progressed in,
I progressed.
or were you kind of just already always there?
I've progressed in a lot of ways. Well, I don't know how. Look, here's a different way to say that. There's something about me that is just, it doesn't change, right?
Right.
I'm the same me that anybody who knows me would recognize, no matter if they were a teacher or a friend or a passerby or whatever. There's something about me, the core of me, the heart of me, the truth of me is not changeable. It's the same. But what does progress, I think, for me, is like,
well, because you were
sure.
speaking when you were a child, so I'm saying, were you kind of always at this level, or can you look back and see that you actually progressed, or were you just always that way? Like, did you come into the world this way?
I came into the world this way for sure.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, I came into this world this way for sure. But then I went through a lot of steps. But the steps mostly, really, for me, it's like everybody's different, right? If everybody's different and I have my own thing, one of the things that has happened, and we can call it a progression, is my own ability to appreciate the steps, appreciate the people, just appreciate everything more. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that was one of my lessons too, because I think I won't speak for anybody else, but I can speak for people if I want to. But I'll speak for myself.
Sure.
Like when we are feeling down, or when I'm feeling down, or when I felt super, super low, there are reasons for it, of course, right? There's reasons why people feel terrible, like there can be all kinds of reasons. But one thing that you can gain out of it, no matter what, if you can get some, if some of it can be alleviated, to the point where you're not just like in total abject suffering in every moment, but if you can get past abject total suffering, there's actually nothing wrong with that either. There's reasons why people suffer, and here's part of what it is, right? On the other side of suffering, you've developed a certain capacity, and then the suffering in and of itself does things like, we suffer on behalf of others a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you've suffered, but it's time for a certain kind of relief or something better, a better feeling anyway. The suffering, by virtue of the suffering, you develop certain capacities, and those capacities have great value. So there's a progression there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're, let's say, young and you have a hard time doing something, you're like, oh, my life is miserable because someone broke up with me, or because I stubbed my toe, or someone scratched my Mustang, or whatever it is, but that's not the suffering we're talking about. There's certain suffering that people endure over long periods of time, and there's nothing really that you can necessarily do about it. A lot of times people minimize it, or they don't even acknowledge it, or they don't recognize it. But that suffering develops capacities for appreciation, capacities for joy, capacities for connection, capacities for understanding that people who don't go through those kind of things will never develop. You know what I mean?